could have gone completely different because there would have been no space for Blink to kite, and those banelings would have done significantly more damage.
Yep, definitely. Now it's gonna go down to the ace match. Right now, MoonRise and BlinQQ are really doing their best to impress in the DSCL, and they have done so in the last two games.
Mm-hmm.
On the top side, we have spawning for Clan Maegis. It is going to be MoonRise, and at the bottom side, it is going to be from Lowlands Giants MSI's BlinQQ.
Yep. So the map is Whirlwind.
It's the big map again.
Yeah, very drop favored for the Terran, uh, especially with new medevac speed boost, which we've all seen in action quite a few times. I do expect very economic openers from two players, even though Reapers are also quite good. Um, 15 hatch, 14 pool, that kind of stuff, and maybe even CC first from the Terran, because it just takes so long to scout. Even though the Zerg, keep in mind, is that he's sending his Overlord in the correct direction.
And it is Lowlands.
Lions.
Lowlands Lions. Yes. I'm really messing it up every time. Am I not?
It's only happened twice.
I should just say LLL and I'll always be right. That's Lowlands. Yeah.
Well, if
No,
you know
look,
that the
look,
third
look.
word, if you know that the third word is an L, then you know it can't be giants.
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue so easily.
Yeah.
That's the reason I'm saying that. I'm going to defend myself here. Is because they're the giants of Starcraft 2. They're really impressing during the DSCL, showing us all them great games so far. It's going to go ahead and be a barracks for BlinQQ, added up by Refinery after that. It looks like MoonRise, for the first time in this series, is feeling comfortable to hatch first instead of going for the awkward gas build, which has worked out for him in the first two games against the Reapers, though.
Yeah. He could have tried to sort of metagame his opponent and go for a Baneling bust because the map is so large. You don't really expect that. Then again, it's actually quite easy to defend sometimes once you get your tech up and get a couple of Hellions in a bunker. So it's not really, it's pretty all in and pretty coin flippy to try and do a build like that. We do have an early gas load for MoonRise, so we will once again probably be getting that circling speed, I feel.
Yep, and it's gonna be a Reaper once again. Now this time he will not have the speedlings in position to deal with that Reaper, so we're gonna have to see some micro from MoonRise early game because non-speedlings will not be able to catch up with those Reapers. If you can get a Queen out, that will be a good position. It is a big map, so it's gonna take the Reaper quite some time to get over there. It looks like BlinQQ is once again doing the rain dance in front of his base, but it is gonna be to drop down that expansion as fast as possible. It's gonna make it right now. And yeah, it's gonna be a Reaper expand, something you also saw in Wings of Liberty. I don't know if it's better in HOTS or
It
worse, to
is.
be honest.
It's
Is it?
absolutely is because you don't have to commit to the tech lab on the barracks.
Oh, right, yes.
Um, Luckily for Blink, he scouts the correct direction with his SCV straight ahead, and he sees the early hatch. He does know there's an early gas as well, but it's not being mined at all.
Nope, it's not being mined. We do have speed on the way for the Zerg player. Two
Oh wait, we
queens
already
gonna
have.
pop out pretty soon. This Reaper's gonna have like the 10 seconds of his life. He's so happy right now getting one kill, getting two kills, and as oh no, almost getting two kills, but that drone decides being a spore crawler is better than
Oh,
dying.
that one saves his ass
That
again.
drone decides it's better to be an extractor.
Is
And
this
guess
one getting
what?
away?
Queen comes to ruin the day and
Yep.
does get two kills though.
Oh, but now there's an angry queen here, not liking the fact that he's after her drones, and he only barely escapes with his life and a slight tad of economic advantage because these drones had to unmorph, which costs gas, and weren't mining for a while. But that's really about it. And wow, this time we do see the greedy play from Blink with that early third orbital command.
Yep, and in the chat we see that I think there's at least been 20 names that LLL could stand for. That's not Lowland Lions, but the things they made up. Some of them a bit harsh, some of them funny, but of course it's all in good manners. And it's nice though. And they're also asking who lives close to The Hague. Where do you live, Wyman?
I live in Houten, which is really close to Utrecht, like right in the center of the country. So I'm pretty much capable of traveling anywhere at a similar distance. So yeah, I'm actually going to be there like 3 days at the event for the actual anime con, which is going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. For me, it's a real big chore to get there. I have to cycle at least 10 minutes
Oh, for you.
for me. And there are going to be some links trying to poke at these SCVs. Doing a really good job so far, forcing a lift off as well. And on the map, you see once again MoonRise taking a third base, MoonRise taking some control, and MSI BlinQQ is going for the Hellion Reaper again. And that's not going to be that good against the Lynx already outside of his base. Of course, the Hellions can take it down. But he really wants to get this expansion, and he has to get rid of those links. There we go.
Yeah, once he gets his 6th Hellion out, he'll probably just move out on the map and try to poke at these links. They really don't stand any sort of chance against this composition, and like you see, they are getting quite roasted at this point. So he clears out his natural without any difficulties, even blocks that link from running in just in time, so he cannot see that there is actually a third orbital command in the back of the main.
This does give MoonRise some time to react, though. The Zerglings did their job. They poked at the SCVs, killed some of them. Also forced that command center, or that orbital command, to be lifted off. Now we do see the Hellions ever so fast moving across the map. The Spinecrawler in a good position. The Queen is there. Lynx are going to try to poke in. One of them gets burned to death. And so far pretty decent by the Zerg, though. Of course these Lynx won't be the greatest addition against the Hellions. But the Queen's doing a really good job.
Well,
I
he's trying to
lose the
kite.
Queen, though, at this rate.
Ooh, there's actually too many links right now to just fight straight up, so he's going to have to kite really carefully. If he gets another shot, he can get a couple of links quite easily. Oh, and he's actually setting up for a couple of Widowmine hits. If you may be able to dodge those again. Oh, nice micro here with the Hellions. He does get a cost-effective trade, but I don't think, I don't think the Terran is actually aware of the fact that there's a third up for the Zerg, though.
Now let's check his vision right now, and we see he does not have a clue right now that there is a third base up. I don't think he expects it. After the games we've seen from the Zerg so far, they have been a little bit later, the expansion, and already a drone moving out. I don't know if he's going to be really greedy or just going to move back. Now he's going to move back with that. But yeah, I mean, BlinQQ did trade cost efficiently, but he already lost a lot of mining time. He lost some SCVs. He hasn't even got his geysers up, and it's at his natural right now. You see that the Zerg is already getting 2 geysers up at his third base. So I think that MoonRise is in a decent position right now.
Yeah, none are particularly ahead or behind, I would say. They're both getting similar upgrades, similar tech. And really the army of Blink at this point is mostly mineral focused. He has to invest minimal gas in getting his Widow Mines and getting his Marauders. So it's going to be mostly marine focused. And he should be adding on a reactor to his starport so he can start pumping Medifacts.
These Hellions are gonna find that third base right now, though, so he's gonna know exactly what's up. Or maybe not.
Oh, maybe
he might have already seen a little bit of the creep. I don't know. I don't think so. He's certainly getting a perfect surround on these 3 Hellions, and they're not belong to this world, as they do get taken out. And to be honest, BlinQQ is once again going into a defensive posture. It looks like when.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to try and get a third up, because he does have an extra orbital command, which gives him a lot of additional mules. The saturation on his natural not too good. If you notice that, there was an SCV trap behind the engineering base, and he killed it with his marines, just to be safe. Link pressure at the Thunder coming in, but there's a lot of marines, and he's burrowing these Widowmine stims. Gonna lose.
Actually, the Widowmine's taking out all of the marines! Not the best work there, and this means that MoonRise gets a free ticket into the natural expansion.
Yeah, and this is gonna piss off Blink for the fact that he didn't throw down a bunker, because that would have mostly fixed this whole issue. And yeah, once has a couple of extra marines out, but he's not gonna like the setback. Actually, loses a couple of Widowmines because he unburrowed them for some reason. Manages to clean up finally the last of these links, but it's not something you're happy about as a Terran. And we have another wave of speedlings actually moving in straight for his opponent's natural.
Yep, and I mean, that was really BlinQQ hurting his own army. Just like siege tanks, the Widowmines do have friendly splash damage. I think it's 50% of the regular damage, but that does mean that 2 of those hits does a lot of damage to those marines. You saw exactly what happened there. He has a good Widowmine spread right now, but these links are going to run in, and he's going to tank it with a few of the links. Going to force those shots, and now it's going to be up to the marines once again. One really good shot there.
Yeah, and now we have Medifacts, so these, as well as combat shield, so the marines can actually decently tank these links. Lots of damage on the Medifacts there caused by the Widowmines. Once again, making good use of that, friendly fire. And while we have more links on the way, it seems like MoonRise has found his calling to just constantly pressure with pure speedling. while getting upgrades and now teching into Mutas.
Yep, also gonna morph in some Banelings. Now, one good thing for BlinQQ is that he did manage to get his third base up. One bad thing for BlinQQ, MoonRise managed to get his fourth base up. So economically, it's gonna be once again one base ahead for the Zerg. And we see a large containment of Zerglings moving into the third base of BlinQQ. And there's absolutely nothing but a handful of Marines to defend there. And these Zerglings are gonna have a decent trade against the Marines, and the Banelings are gonna come in, and that's gonna mean evacuation time.
Oh, this is not good for BlinQQ. He's gonna lose a lot of SCVs here. Didn't get proper defense up in time. Still had his Widow Mines too far spread out. If he put those in position in time, this whole engagement could have gone completely different. Oh wow, the pickup saves those Marines from being splashed by their own Widow Mines just in time.
Yep, and the Marines are getting some friends, but they don't like them. The changelings do get sniped off. However, Golden Shower going up to prevent the landing on the third base. I really like that from our Zerg player.
So this game so far has been really dynamic. Zerg has really been doing everything he can to deny the third of the Terran. Meanwhile, getting his own tech up. If we look at the unit type, he's already got 11 mutas out flocking on the field, but he's mostly been investing in his his speed link control.
Yep, and there's gonna be mutas flying into the natural expansion of BlinQQ. BlinQQ, being aware of this, already made a lot of turrets to counter that, and they are doing a good job. Of course, there's also the potential of the mutas flying into a Widow Mine, which will make our casting job so much more fun. We don't know if he's gonna do that.
Interestingly, as long as BlinQQ can stay safe, I think if he would throw down a bunker or two, his position would be so much more secure against this constant link bailing muta aggression, which we are going to see right now. No, I guess we're not.
Nope, we do see two links dying though. That's a tease of what's going on, because I see that something's under attack, and that does mean that BlinQQ is dropping right now, did a decent job and did some damage at the 4 base.
Yeah, I don't think he killed a lot of drones there. It's really not necessary. He knows this base has only briefly been up. If you click on the minerals, they've almost not been mined. Did he manage to kill that? Oh, the matter of fact, no, it's all the way in the top right corner of the map. And he's actually messing up for another attack at the front.
Yeah, but there are some mutas going towards that medevac, so he wants to get it out there as fast as possible, because if those mutas get wind of that medevac being there, it will get sniped off.
I don't like this position for Blink. He's completely supply blocked. His army is not that big. And wow, he doesn't have much of a defensive position. His Widow Mine's getting baited out by these Widow Mines.
He doesn't have much army there, but he does have some army into the main base of the Zerg, doing a lot of damage, poking off the queens there as well. He's trying to be aggressive with these drops. The drop on the right hand side did get taken out by the muta, but this forces all of the units from the Zerg player back, and he's also going to drop this empty base, killing absolutely nothing, and he will lose the Marines. That's not the best job right there.
Still a huge supply block here for Blink. He's taking so long to fix that for some reason. I'm not sure why. Finally, a lot of depots going up in his main, but this has really hampered his army production. Even throwing down more barracks just to get rid of the excess minerals.
Yep, and I don't think I've ever seen as many changelings die as in this game, because he keeps throwing them at him. I guess if you have the overseers, you might as well spawn them. We have a huge army messing up from the Zerg, and I think at the moment he's going to go for it. That BlinQQ's army will be too spread out. He has to either defend the third base or the natural expansion with those Widow Mines. If he puts them on both spots, he's going to lose one of the two bases, I feel like.
If Blink loses the game at this point, the only one he really has to blame for it is himself, because his production has been quite lackluster, and I really don't like his defensive position either. A lot of Widow Mines being strangely, I wouldn't say out of place, but there's two unburrowed right there. There's much of a turret, and now we see the Zerg forces now moving into the army of his opponent. Big Widow Mine hits going off on these links on Banelings though, and the Zerg Terran army coming back really nicely. These Banelings survive though, and he's gonna have to pick up.
Yep, and does manage to clean it up though, and that's a Zerg that's always what you want.
I'm not sure if I like that, but he is managing to sort of cost effectively trade. However, the mutas have come in, but they are fighting against turrets, which is not the situation you want. And there's mostly Ultralisks on the field right now.
Yeah, there's mostly Ultras on the field right now, and even though BlinQQ almost defended that, he isn't really mining from his natural right now, and he is losing a lot, and the Zerg is still comfortably on 4 bases, and these Ultras are doing a good job. The whole position micro on the SCVs is impressive, because it does force the Ultras to go up. Instead of killing those Marines that are left there, the mutas are still trying to pick off some buildings, but this is looking ever so grim for BlinQQ.
Well, to be honest, if you look at the unit tab, he has lost a lot of SCVs. That's a really big deal. But he's decently survived these trades so far. The SimCity in his base really coming to his advantage. You know, whole position really messes with the ultras. Of course, they do no longer do splash damage. So using SCVs to block them is actually not that bad of a solution.
That's a really good solution. They won't be able to get to the Marines. Sometimes they go into an awkward dance where they absolutely hit nothing. There's going to be a queen picked up at the top right hand side of the map by some Marines that actually walked over there. They were like, you know what, those medivacs are unreliable with the mutants everywhere. We're just gonna run over there. But yeah, BlinQQ is gonna run out of minerals fast as well. His main base is almost mined out. His natural is getting really low. There's some mineral patches that are gonna mine out soon. And he only has this third base, which is also getting low on minerals. So eventually he's gonna dry out here, and he doesn't have that much to defend to begin with. So I don't know how he could ever force his way back into this game.
Yeah, it's looking pretty grim here at this point. This engagement really not going the way he wants, taking a lot of hits on these on this bio with the Bailey just crashing into them, Ultralus doing a ton of damage, and well, he does get a couple of burrowed mines in place, but they're just not that effective against Ultralus as you would want them to be.
No, they do a lot of damage to one of the Ultralists, but the splash damage is pretty much negated with the fact that they have 500 HP. And yeah, even though BlinQQ is trying to hold on, and he's doing a decent job at that, to be honest, he's losing all of his medepacks right now. The Ultras are going to do a lot of damage. And once again, he's fighting in his main base, and you don't want to do that at the 20 minutes mark. There's also an Overseer going to pick off these pesky little mines. And yeah, BlinQQ is microing to the best of his ability. The only thing I'd like to see from Zerg at this point is maybe grabbing a 6th base, because he is also mining out a little bit.
Yeah, at this point it's really mostly the economic deficit that's costing Blink the game in this game, I feel, as we see him lose all his SCVs at the third to Ultralisk and Lings.
Yep, everything's being taken down by MoonRise, and yeah, MoonRise is doing a really good job. This looks a lot like game 1, where BlinQQ is trying to defend. The only thing is he doesn't have the good defensive position that he had on the map, on the first map, and even that game he lost because he's just eventually gonna get swarmed over. MoonRise playing a very Zerky style with attack after attack swarming in.
Yeah, that's really the best way to describe it. Zergy just keeps swarming, keeps killing his opponent, and Blink at this point down to 22 SCVs in a very dire position. Big Widowmine hits on the Banings though, and a good spread, but there's just too much stuff for the Terran here to deal with, I'm afraid. He's got a lot of army at the top of the ramp stuck, but he's just going to GG out. Well played.